Alright guys, welcome back. So we have a new PvP mode in the game being Brawl, taken straight out of Grand Cross, which is actually quite funny because this is the only PvP mode Grand Cross has gotten in like 5 years. However, today, funny timing, they just got a leak where they apparently are planning a new PvP mode, which is obviously quite exciting for Grand Cross, but also exciting for us because that means we're going to be getting probably the exact same thing, but in idle version of it, because this Brawl mode actually works a lot better than it does in Grand Cross because it's auto. In that game, it is auto, but that's a bad thing because that game actually has, like, you know, player control a little bit. But regardless, this is the team setups I have been using, and we're going to run through, like, what you should be using a little bit. And the first team that I've been using has been Mono Red. I think those are the best ways to go about building teams is Mono Red, Mono Blue, Mono Green, Mono Yellow, and then the full Commandment team, and also the full Sin team. However, when you start to build a Sin team, and also you build a Commandment team, you're losing a lot of the key pieces for Mono Yellow and also Mono Green. So that's kind of why I've gone down the road of Mono Red, because a lot of red characters, granted, you know, we have got some Sins here and also Commandment, but like these lot can carry on their own, right? So yeah, this is the team setup I got here. We do not have a healer because the healer we could bring is Geldar. If you want it, you can bring one tank and replace this, you know, one of the tanks with an actual Geldar. It's just my Geldar right now is 3-star. Not comfortable using her. Maybe I go towards 5-star. I definitely would. She would work in this team really well though. But instead of bringing Geldar, I have brought obviously, you know, Gilfrost, because we then got some protection on my Derriere, good AoE damage healer. At least we have something type advantage against red characters and type neutral against yellows. I'm not opposed to it, so this is kind of the team setup I have been bringing. And for the ultimate order, this is what you got here. You know, buff up straight away, give us a shield. I always like to use somewhat of an AoE skill before my Dairy ultimate, because if they got some sort of buff or Gilfrost shield on, Merlin might be able to remove it, but also kind of knock them back a little bit, and then hopefully they're in the back line, so when my actual Derriere ults, she hits more people than not. So it's kind of why I'm using this team a little bit. Vivian and Kane I've talked about a lot, but them two as like a, you know, unique DPS lineup is very, very good. And I guess the big thing is we are bringing Melly. We're not using him in the Sin team. You'll see why in a second, because this is my Mono Red team, and then move it into my second other team, and probably the best team for most people is going to be a full Sin team. Now I say full loosely because we are still missing, you know, Merlin, and I guess who was it we not using the other one? Merlin and Meliodas. But what you can do is bring the other little Meliodas, the unique one, because he does work with King, so he is getting that crit damage buff. You know, you might as well, he works in the team. You know, it's probably better to use Melly in the Mono Red team and then use this one in the Sin team. Escanor, Barn, and King, Gopher, going to work really, really well. And it's kind of what I mean. We're already using a lot of pieces from the Mono Yellow team. Like, we'll bring Gopher, we'll bring this Diane, for example. We'll bring Gilfrost in this team, which is why I have not built a Mono Yellow team. But you definitely could, and I'll show our team in a second. And we've got a healer and also 2 tank characters to kind of split the match up a little bit. And Escanor can kind of clean up a little bit. It's kind of my go-to. Ultimate order looks something like this a little bit. We buff up again, then we use the King ultimate, followed by the Yan. And remember, the Yan's petrification is quite a big, it's not big AoE, but it hits more than one person probably, depending if they're all chunked together. And you got to remember, when she petrifies, you also decrease their critical resistance, which means it's probably more likely to crit. So following it up with an Escanor ultimate is going to be very, very good. Reset cooldowns, heal up a little bit as well, Barn and also Meliodas. Why not, right? And the third team, we have a full Commandment team. However, we are obviously not using 2 Commandments. You can see we are using Wilo and also Wineheart. Why Wineheart? I wanted someone green on the team, because you got to remember the actual Malascula does buff up crit damage for green. So I thought, you know what, let's bring a green character. That's probably the best I can get, and he is the only green DPS from a range at least. You could bring Bellion, but he might die a little bit too quickly here. And yeah, I think this team is going to get a lot better. You could bring Fraudrin for your tank character, like this guy right here, instead of the actual Wilo. But so far, while yes, you will have some synergy in terms of commandments, getting crit damage for Fraudrin, it's not going to make a big difference, right? Unless we get Zeldris that can actually, like, say, hey, make my actual commandments better. Which, to be fair, is kind of what Sorosa does, a little bit of heals. But if you ever use the heals with these abilities, it's not that great. It's not reliable. So I wouldn't bother. Just get someone who's guaranteed to survive, guaranteed to do more 36 seconds. That's kind of why I like using Wilo. And then, obviously, I'm going to say if we had got Zeldris, I would replace him with Wineheart. But for right now, this is kind of what I've been going for. Ultimate order, we're going to start off with Esterosa, because he's going to be in the front line, going to get that auto very, very quickly. And just get a bit of healing. It's not going to be great, but, you know, we'll take it, right? Plus, this he does a lot of damage. Like, it's surprising. Estarossa does do a lot of damage. To be honest, most of the damage is probably going to come for the full counter, so you don't have to worry too much about it. But in Speed, obviously being probably a bit of an MVP, cleansing, and then using the crit defense. To be fair, I'll probably use Gallon first. Madagascar, you don't care about. Accuracy is not useful. This is not useful either. So yeah, this is my ultimate order. And then I'm going to jump over towards normal PvP to show you the team setup, because you can't show more than one team. For a mono yellow team, this is probably something you bring. Most of your damage is going to come from Barn and also Gilfrost. They're just going to be saying, right? Like, Arthur buffing up your actual crit chance, getting some attack speed from Jericho, and then popping off with Barn and Gilfrost and also Gustav. These lots should do the most here. Orlando, remember, he's a healer, so you might as well bring him for the mono yellow team. But like I said, the reason why I'm not using this team in particular is because you do have to take pieces away from other teams that you want to bring, like obviously Barn in the Sin team, or obviously, you know, Gilfrost in basically any team you want to bring him in. And then finally, in terms of a mono blue team, not the biggest fan, because there are a lot of good green characters, being Monspeed wiping out everyone that's blue, Escanor, who has type advantage against everyone, so it doesn't matter, but he will do more damage with blue characters. And like I did say, I'm not a big fan of it, because you're taking away King from the Sin team, you're taking Gallant away from the actual, you know, Commandment team. Maybe you want to bring Zaneri, so you're taking her away from whatever team she's on. And in terms of, like, DPSs, you're kind of forced to bring, you know, Hendrickson, not a great character. Modern Atra, decent. Like, Atra's going to be really, really good. And to be fair, you could probably use him on your Sin team instead. You know, replace Medios with Atra. That actually might be a lot better too, depending on what you want in terms of a DPS character. We are lacking, like, a big blue DPS on the Shaun of Lion King, so maybe putting in Atra might not be the worst idea. But yeah, that's kind of all my team setups that I've been bringing. If we quickly go over towards some, I guess, high-ranking players, you can see what some people are using, and you can kind of see what people are going towards a little bit. More or less a Sin team, but you're now putting in some commandments a little bit. That's just basically your main PvP team anyway. Team 2 is a bit interesting. You got 2 tanks like what we've been using before, but then you got some, you know, decent AoE characters. Zaratros, Melly's going to carry because he obviously is high dupe level, and then Atris, well, and like Gustav, like I say, going to do really, really well too. This is, funny enough, a strategy that came from Grand Cross as well. I remember actually. Basically, what you do is, because you can't see the third team, is always hidden. So what you do is you throw your first team and then put all your best characters, rather than spreading them out. You can stack up on team 2 and team 3, because all you got to do is win 2 games, right? So yeah, very similar team that we were kind of using a full commandment team with obviously Atra as well being like a really good DPS, and you can't see team 3, right? And because they can't see team 3, that means they're more likely to lose against it, because you don't know what they're going up against. Because if you don't know, when you start your base defense, you can select who you want to like verse a little bit. So right now we got a, what's this team? It's a Sin / Commandment team, so I know they got a lot of, you know, annoying characters to come out support characters. So what I'd probably bring is my Escanor team. Easily rinse through everyone. And in this team right here, you can see it's mostly green characters, so bringing mono red will be really good. And in that third team, I could lose, of course. So yeah, throwing your first team, it means that they're more likely to lose in general. So that's kind of, I think, a strat people might be doing. So you can see here, full commandment team works really well as well. Can't see the third team. This is just 4 team uniques. To be fair, there's no real strategy here in a way. It's just good, unique characters. And because they're all super awakened, you know, fully maxed out, they probably will win a lot of games. And I think right now it's hard to judge ranks a little bit. I mean, I can see people are obviously good. Like, you know, Fate is a really good person who's like on my max server, but he's like, you know, you've got max characters a little bit. You know, he's going to win anything anyway. But also as well, like, you know, it just comes down to you can play the most a little bit rather than who's the best player. So yeah, guys, that's probably going to wrap up the video. It's kind of my setups that I've been using. Some team synergies you could definitely use here. I'm not going to bother showcasing gameplays a little bit, because obviously it just came out the mode, so everyone is kind of low rank a little bit. I have not found anyone really worth fighting competitively, because everyone's got like 82 million. I think it might be bots as well. Yeah, like Rock Guardian, Gold Guardian. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Remember, you do get some pretty cool rewards. You get the gacha ones, which are nice, I guess, but like, I mean, 500 is kind of decent. You're not going to get further second. I don't know what equivalates to. I think it might just be like 500 gems. I don't know, but regardless, hey, taking free tickets to spend on actual character banners is quite nice. I typically always land between top 100, and at least now, if I get challenged in this game mode, I do get 1 guaranteed legendary with some extra gems, and also now we have more access towards actual Fight Festival coins, which are shared across both actual PvP modes, and now they have updated the shop as well, where you can buy a guaranteed legendary every week, but you can buy 2 now, and it's only between the 10 commandments and also Sin characters. Unfortunately, not include the new ones, but still really, really good, right? And in this one, what does this give? I'll buy it. Let me just check what you get. So you can choose which one you want. I'm going to more likely choose... Can we see that? We can't see the odds, right? I'm going to choose yellow because I'm more likely to pick Barn. And we can pick up... So yeah, we can't pick up who's yellow. So Goldford's not here, so you can't get Escanor. And it's not even guaranteed as well. It's random. And we also have these as well. The Dungeon's Treasure Chest. It's one item, which these items are insane if you get lucky, by the way. Like 10k constellation points. If you do get these ones, these are upgraded ones where you can get a guaranteed Escanor, but it's still random, even if you get lucky enough to get it, which is what? 1%? Let me buy... I'll buy one, just see what we can get, right? And we got 2k. It's probably the lower end, but I don't mind it. But yeah, guys, it's going to wrap up the video. Thank you for watching, and yeah.